So I'm playing today with my new Sennelier Abstract pouches. I just got these. I bought, as you can see, a little primary set. And the set that I bought actually came with the little accessory tips that Sennelier has. If you don't know about these, they're like little, you can make different shapes with the tips. So what they have, I don't know if you can see that, it just screws on. There's 3 round tips. There's 2 very flat tips. I don't know if you can see what that is. And then there's 2 tips that have, this one has like 2 spouts coming out of it. It's hard to see what you can see. And then there's this one that I've attached to the black paint that has 3 spouts coming out of it. So I'm going to just fool around and see what kind of marks I can make with these. I've got the 5 different pouches, so let's see what I can do. So I'll start with the black. Those paint aside, and I've attached the triple spout one to the black. I've stuck. I'm not sure that I really like the concept of the plastic pouch and the paint. It's kind of convenient, but I prefer something that I can get in a larger size, and I would love it if I could attach these tips to some other container. I'm happy to use the Sennelier paints, but I don't usually use paint straight from the tube or the pouch in this case, as it may be. So that's sort of one drawback for me. So if I could find another container that these tips fit on, they might be more suitable. But we'll see how this goes. So here's the triple. You got to give it quite a hard squeeze, and it's only coming out of one. So one's already blocked up in the 5 minutes I took setting up this camera. Not easy to squeeze, honestly. I'm struggling. We'll use both hands. And the paint is quite heavy. Well, there's a fail. I think that's just gotten clogged up on one tip. So I'm going to throw it in some water so it doesn't get worse. And I'll attach the double tip, which I haven't used yet. I'll try that. So they dry out fast, that's one thing, because I have not had that on there for very long. And the angle's a bit awkward. Let's see. Yeah, so if you wanted to do some interesting line work, that might be good. Do something almost calligraphic with that. I find it, my hands aren't very strong, so I find it hard to keep the ink flowing evenly. And it can produce quite a thick bead, so you're using a lot of paint with that. One thing that I did notice earlier, I'm going to switch pouches. I'll just put the cover back on this. Is that, I'll use the yellow because that'll provide a strong contrast. Whoop, first time opening that, you can hear the seal breaking. I'm putting the same tip back on, and I'm doing that for a purpose, to demonstrate. So I've got yellow here now, just took it off the black, to demonstrate how much paint is left in these tips once you squeezed it out. So I'm going to draw some black, and the black keeps coming. And I still haven't gotten any yellow out. Still going with the black. So, interesting marks, yes. Wow, okay, I just saw my first spot of yellow. So there's so much paint left inside that. Again, hard to squeeze, still getting black. Yellow's coming now. Okay, so now I'm mixing paint. I've got black and yellow, so I got a bit of green. So we just learned how we can mix in the pouch. Really struggling to push it out. Wow. So even though I'm getting yellow out now, there's still black coming. So there's reservoirs in there somewhere that's holding the old paint. So if you want clean color coming out of the pouch, you really need to completely wash it and lose a lot of paint in between applications, in between colors. So yeah, that's a bit of a downside. I don't know, I'm kind of having mixed feelings about these things. I don't know that I really like them. I'm going to throw this in water before it hardens. Let's see, let's get the blue one out and try this flat tip. Okay, it's got this, there's two of these flat tips. This is the larger of the two. And oh wow, that's a lot of paint. So it's coming out a lot easier. So I only have to squeeze very gently. And with practice, I think you could do a nice solid line. So that might be interesting to do some line work. Yeah, that's interesting. But don't squeeze too hard with the bigger tips because you'll get a whole splat of paint up front. Throwing that in some water. So I'm interested to see. So that blue paint came out really easily when I had a nice fat tip. This is the tiniest of the round ones. Again, don't know if you can see that. It's really a teeny tiny tip. It's like a little pencil. Let's see if I can. That comes out quite smoothly. So why is the blue coming out so much more easily than the other ones? I will say that my studio is quite cold, which is why I'm wearing this big puffy jacket. So that would probably affect the viscosity of the paint as well, making it harder to get out of the pouch. Yeah, that's interesting. Still not a fan of color straight out of the tube though. I don't know why I bought these then. Because I wanted to try them, that's why. And using the biggest of the round tips, what does it look like? Oh, you could do some interesting, that's kind of interesting. Could make some interesting marks that way. So, oh, the one other thing I wanted to say, and Sennelier, if you're listening, really, like, hello. They've got these abstract pens, Sennelier Abstract pens, which I love. I absolutely love them. If I could take these tips and put them on these pens, I would be so happy because these pens are refillable and I can mix colors and put whatever color I want in them. But they're the wrong size, so I can't mix and match. I can't put the tips on the pens. So Sennelier, please give me the tips for the pens. And you've got a really, really, really happy customer. Okay, that's it.